I don't like it. That's your culture, is yodeling?
So the internet is doing what they do best, and they're trying to cancel my goat, Sabrina Carpenter, and I will not allow it. I have come to sweep because a specific user by the name of Poppy, this is one of the worst troll accounts on Twitter, is spreading the idea that Sabrina is insensitive and Islamophobic because of that clip I played in the introduction, where a person was doing what they call a Arabic zagruta. Hopefully I'm saying that right, which is basically like a call. It is kind of like a yodel kind of sound is what at least Sabrina Carpenter overheard, and she thought it sounded a little interesting. She thought it sounded a little weird.
Is that what you're doing? I don't like it. That's your culture, is yodeling? Is this Burning Man? What's going on? This is weird. You know,
now, the internet, or at least this Poppy person, is trying to say, Sabrina saying that she doesn't like a cultural Arabic cheer, this is so insensitive and Islamophobic. I'm very disappointed in her. Of course, this would go on to get 29.8 million views. Welcome to the internet, where you can just say something off the cuff without really thinking about it. Of course, you're literally on a stage with millions of people watching, probably not millions, and there's probably a crowd of like 50,000 people or so. And she said something that, of course, she would go on to regret, causing her to apologize for it. Now, thankfully, some of these sane people on Twitter or X were quick to point out the zagruta, the Arabic cheer, is a pre-Islamic cultural expression of joy used by Arabs across religions, including Christians at celebrations. It is not an Islamic practice, so Sabrina Carpenter's reaction to the sound does not indicate Islamophobia, which, I mean, anybody with a brain, I think, would assume that. She's not Islamophobic because she heard something that literally she'd never heard in her life during her concert, and it was extremely loud while she was like in the middle of a performance, right? We can probably point out the fact that, like, hey, maybe the person in the crowd was being a little rude or whatnot, right? But at the end of the day, it was a concert experience. People are going to be loud, people are going to be screaming, people are going to be having a good time. And that was their idea of a good time. And I'm sure that, of course, Sabrina did not mean to be insensitive by saying, hey, what the heck is that noise? That's a little weird. What's going on? Right? And that was it. Now, Sabrina ended up saying, my apologies. I didn't see this person with my eyes and couldn't hear clearly. My reaction was pure confusion, sarcasm, and not ill-intended. Could have handled it better. Now I know what a zagruta is. I welcome all cheers and yodels from here on out. And the interesting thing is that her team, I'm gonna guess either her team or like whoever was hosting that event, is going around, you know, putting copyright claims on that. Of course, this is kind of something that happens when something involves music or like performances. Usually doesn't really happen during like controversial events like this, unless of course they're trying to hide it, right? Which is interesting, definitely interesting. I think that honestly should stay up because Sabrina has apologized, given her side of it. So it's not a great look to now have the video also be basically silenced. But basically, this Poppy person, who of course went on to share this to 30 million people trying to cancel Sabrina, puts this dumbass statement. Guys, she apologized. Stop sending hate. Hey, dumbass, how about you delete your tweet, right? How about you delete this post right here accusing someone of being Islamophobic, right? These are the types of things, like the types of words that get people fired from their jobs, you know, that get people's careers ruined, and she's just throwing it around and then has the nerve to say, guys, stop sending hate. You're the dumb idiot that is sending hate. You're the one who shared this video out to 30 million people, hoping to get Sabrina in some sort of pushback or trouble. And now you're telling people not to hate on her. Of course, you know, I can't hate. This is my quote right here. Now, we also have some really weird takes like this one from Caleb Hammer, who is like a financial auditing YouTuber, controversial himself. And he says, as a girl's girl, I legitimately enjoy Sabrina's music. Not gonna lie, she deserves this backlash. She spent the past few years fueling the toxic online gender wars, which has made her curate the most bottom of the barrel, horrendous people to her audience. And those are the exact kind of people who will eat you alive at the moment you even slightly step out of line, make a joke, or disagree with them on 0.1% of issues. Actions meet consequences. But like, the issue is, she literally didn't do anything. Like, is it just something that's completely misconstrued, being taken out of context, right? People tried to cancel her like last year or like a few months ago because of her album cover where she was like grabbing on a man's jeans or something. You guys remember that? Like, no matter what someone at Sabrina's level of success does, they're going to be canceled. So I don't really agree with Caleb Hammer here. Like, this is kind of just like a dumb take. She's not someone who's like a political divisive figure. She's just a singer who makes like maybe cringy music for teen girls or for, you know, people like me, right? I think her music is catchy, but I also think like, okay, I mean, I don't really take the lyrics that serious. Like, hey boys, you know, and it's pigs, right? It's not that deep. And Caleb Hammer's like, I don't know what his deal is. Sabrina did nothing wrong, but you know who did do something wrong? This Poppy account. Again, one of the worst, most idiotic trolls on Twitter, literally on March 2nd, said, I'm sorry, but Islam is the worst religion and you can't tell me otherwise. Literally, this is the exact same account. This tweet is still up, surprisingly. Whoever they're replying to has been deleted. This is up. How do you have the nerve to try to call Sabrina Carpenter Islamophobic for simply being ignorant on something she thought sounded like a yodel and saying, oh, that sounded kind of weird. She didn't say your culture is terrible, your like religion is horrible, blah, blah, blah. She just said, oh, that sounded kind of weird. What the heck is that? Right? Yet here you are telling people that Islam is the worst religion. You can think that Islam has its flaws, you can think Christianity has its flaws, but to just go onto Twitter and say this, even as, of course, a rage-baiting, slop-farming, trash-posting account, comes across as cringe. This is just cringe stupidity, right? And of course, this is the person trying to cancel Sabrina Carpenter. It says everything you need to know about this type of person. The fact that they would make this insane claim about Sabrina Carpenter, whether or not you think it was going to be taken serious or not, literally, we are in that time of the internet where people will take something like this and just run with it. Again, it's already made it mainstream. This is all over the news sites. You Google Sabrina Carpenter, and it's going to show all these posts about her mocking Arabic calls, apologizing, right? So we're not at the point where it's just like, it was just for like silly giggles on Twitter. No, like, you've tried to ruin Sabrina Carpenter's career, whether you meant to or not. And of course, this person is also over here reposting their own ratio by Sabrina. Sabrina Carpenter basically like instantly debunked the allegations because anyone with a brain would say, okay, yeah, she was just kind of silly for saying that at the end. And here she is reposting it, the Poppy print. Like, bro, who are you? Literally, who are you besides an internet loser? A loser on Twitter who thinks that trying to ruin people's career is a hobby. Literally, that's your entire presence. 39,000 posts on Twitter. Just log off. Please log off. Delete your account and don't return. I don't think anyone will miss this person. Yet you're the person being Islamophobic. Kind of makes you think. But I do want to know what you guys think down below about this nothing burger of a situation. The Sabrina Carpenter situation is crazy. Nothing happened. They're trying to accuse her of being racist, and it's literally nothing. Don't even know why all these freaking news companies are like reporting on this. Sabrina Carpenter apologized for mocking Arabic call. She didn't mock anything. She just said it sounded kind of weird, right? She was wondering what the heck that was. She apologizes for mistaking Arabic call with yodeling. I mean, okay, like, I don't know. If somebody was screaming, right? And then I said, hey, why are you screaming? They're like, I'm not screaming, I'm hollering. Like, okay, like, come on, are we really gonna do that? Either way, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.